Welcome to the Tim Dillon Show, everybody. We are here in week 2 of the pandemic. I got diagnosed with strep throat the other day, and I thought I had the coronavirus. And I thought, how funny would it be if the first case of the coronavirus in Los Angeles was a guy who had went on his podcast and said, I am for the coronavirus. I want the coronavirus. And then the next day, I get diagnosed with it. But it was only strep. So I'm better now, sort of. My voice is coming back. I hadn't had strep throat since I was like 10. That's something you get when you're 10 and you don't realize, like, being sick is fun when you're a kid. It's fun for at least a few days. You can sit at home. You can watch movies. Back then, we went to Blockbuster, and I'd rent movies, get a bunch of movies, watch them over and over again. My grandmother would make me French toast and grilled cheese. Being sick was good. But when you get older, you know, it's hell, you know, because there is no French toast and grilled cheese. I mean, nobody's making you anything. Nobody cares. Even if you're in a relationship or something, they don't care. They're at work. Nobody has the time to, when you're sick, when you're older, give a fuck about you. That was the whole thing. Like when you were younger, people used to go, I'll shut down, or your grandparents didn't have to because they weren't working. They were like, yo, just come here and you can be sick and we'll get you better and we feel bad for you and you want to get movies and what do you want to eat? And, you know. But strep, man, and when you're a kid, you have like a sore throat. It sucks. But when you're older and you have that strep throat, and you just open your throat and you're staring at the back of your throat and you're like, there's a virus in me. There's something in me. I mean, it's hard to swallow. And you go, eventually, this is what esophageal cancer feels like. It's just every sickness when you're over 30 is just a rehearsal for the big one. And you don't know which one that's going to be, and you don't know when it's going to be. But every mild discomfort you have is a rehearsal. You know, every headache is a rehearsal for the tumor. That's the way I think. Every sore throat is a rehearsal for the cancerous polyp. You don't know when it's coming, but you know it's coming. It's a fact of life. Every respiratory infection, every wheezing, especially if you're a smoker, it's preparing for when the doctor has you in the office. They call you in that little office. He goes, hey, here are the options. What a sentence. Here are the options. You know, it's coming. Uncle of mine just got diagnosed with throat cancer. You know, great dude. Didn't really smoke. You know, had a butt occasionally, you know. And so every sickness you get past a certain age, it's so funny. It's one of the things in life that completely goes 180 degrees the other way. Being sick as a kid's kind of like fun. I mean, don't tweet at me and be like, it's not fun for Kayla who has leukemia. I'm not talking about that. I'm not saying that. Please don't tweet at me. It's not, you know who's uninsured? Little Madrigal. Right. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you're bullshit sick as a kid and you get out of school, it's fun. But when you're an adult, it is not fun. Because you're just thinking about, okay, dodged a bullet. Every doctor visit over the age of 30, you're dodging a bullet. That's all. Because we all know the stories now. We all have enough stories now. You collect them as you go through life. In your teens, you have very few. Yes, people die, but the why is very apparent. They got in a car accident. It was a DWI. It was an overdose. Somebody got shot. It's very cut and dry as to why this happened. In your 20s, it might get a little murkier, but you still kind of know. You know, it's like, fuck, brain cancer. It's so rare. And your 30s, people die, and you just go, that's something. Something not good. Just these things start to happen. As you get older, every decade, it gets a little bit less surprising. You know, 40s is a decade of like, yeah, the guy just had a heart attack at Runyon, hit his head. Hit his head on a rock. Heart attack didn't kill him, but hitting the head on a rock did. My friend told me that story the other day. 40-year-old. The guy got a 2-year-old daughter. Just, out, done. Heart attack, head on a rock. Didn't die from the heart attack. Died from the hitting the head on the rock and Runyon. You know, like 2 people in Runyon Canyon die every week?
Yeah.
People don't talk about it. So I'm not trying to make you into hypochondriacs. I'm just saying that life is too short to not be hateful. You know what I mean? People don't understand. Life is too short to hold it in. The bile that courses through your veins, like that goo that ran through the sewers in Ghostbusters 2. It's too short. You got to let it out. You got to have a group of friends where you can let it out. You have to hate the right people for the right reasons. You got to hate the right things. That's why hopefully you listen to the program, because I do a lot to help direct your anger into the right places, where it should go, where it's productive. But life is just too short. You're going to go. It's coming. It's going to happen sooner than you think. And, so spend your time on this planet airing out your grievances. I'm telling you, you're going to regret it. Spend time on the planet letting people at the hotel front desk know the shower's not as warm as you would like. In fact, you'd like it hot. And it's not what you consider hot. Have the engineer go in there and check the room. You only get so long on this planet. Let the waiter or waitress know exactly what you think of the club sandwich. If the bacon wasn't crispy enough, let them know. Don't hold it in. When you hold it in, that becomes cancer. Let it out. Let it out. I'm telling you. I went to the urgent care to get diagnosed. So urgent care is quick. You're in and out. Boom, boom, boom. It's what I'm into. I like the urgent care because I feel like if I go to like a real doctor, I'm going to die. Because they're going to really look at me and they'll really figure out what's going on. And it's the last thing I want. So urgent care is quick. No, I don't think any of them are real doctors. They're all like UCB, improv kids that are pretending to be doctors. The urgent in urgent care is that they urgently want you out of the office. It's like a 5-second diagnosis in an urgent care. They're like, hey, what's up? You're like, I'm bleeding. They're like, yes, queen. Here's a script and go. And now that we're in LA, and the ticket sales, by the way, slowing down a little bit because of the coronavirus. So I don't want the half in, half out. And I talked to Ben about this show. We're either going to sell these shows out, we're going to rock out, we're not going to give a fuck, or we're just going to, we'll stay in the fucking, in the bunker. But I'm not interested in like half full theaters of people coughing. I want all in or all out. Like, people are like, oh, the last episode you were saying you want a pandemic. I'm like, here's what I want. I want it. We're in or out. I don't want anyone losing money, but if we are, me and Ben have spoken about, listen, then we're all just going to stay in for a little while. That's all. That's what I was trying to say. I'd rather not. I'd rather not people lose money out there, but I don't want a halfway thing where it's mostly hysteria and everybody's losing money for no goddamn reason. But we're in the urgent care, and now the urgent care's job is to just tell everyone going to the urgent care that they can't test for coronavirus. The whole urgent care goes, listen, if you're concerned about coronavirus, you have to go to the ER. We do not have the means to test you here. So literally, people walk in and they're like, hey, I want to be tested for corona. And by the way, people with no symptoms, because no one cares. These people have no symptoms. They just simply want to get tested. They go, I just want to be sure. I'm like, well, what? So you have those idiots go in. So I go in Monday morning, and Monday morning, my throat, I can barely swallow. Pain. I mean, bad. My tonsils are huge. Feels like I have an abscess in my throat. And it's like, you're like, fuck. So I walk in Monday and I go, hey. They go, okay. They go, have you traveled out of the country recently? I'm like, I went to Vancouver a few weeks ago. Doctor goes, okay. And then I went, like I wasn't even thinking. I went to the doctor. I was like, a lot of Asians, though. And she, like, pretended not to hear it.
Yeah.
She, like, ignored it. She was still looking at the chart. Like, I was trying to balance. Because, I was like, yeah, Vancouver a few weeks ago. She'd probably like, yeah, that wasn't okay. But I'm like, hey, but I want to be honest. A lot of Asians over there. Again, not being a racist. Trying to get all the medical information to be accurate. I want, And she's like, listen, it looks like your strep test is positive. And I was like, fuck yeah. Thank God. I was like, that's good, right? She goes, yeah, I guess. I go, yeah, it is. So then they give you a steroid shot in your ass. I don't even know what that does. It's supposed to calm your fucking, I don't know what it's supposed to do. But I guess steroids, they're supposed to help.
I think it boosts your immune system.
Right. Whatever. You still feel like shit.
Right.
Maybe they weren't the right steroids. It's also an urgent care. They could have pretended to do it. They could have just pricked me with a pin and not done anything. They're probably just giving fake steroid shots. So I go to CVS and my throat is like just, and I'm coughing a little bit because you can't really swallow in the water. It's like your water's almost aspirating into your mouth. It's horrible. And then everyone at CVS is looking at you. Me and Ben just had lunch at the Beverly Hills Hotel and I was coughing at the table and everybody's looking at you like, fuck. Is this the guy? Is this patient zero? Is this the guy who brings it to LA? Is this the guy that brings it to the Beverly Hills Hotel? This motherfucker. Right now. See the guy? And I'm just, there's a table next to us talking about Elizabeth Warren, and I'm just sitting there going, and they're just, these women are just staring at me, staring at me. Their eyes judgmental behind their $400 sunglasses. Talk about Elizabeth Warren. I'm a fan of Liz. And another thing, stop going on Twitter and telling people, well, I supported Liz and now I'm supporting Bernie. And yeah, obviously. That's an guys, we get it, you self-important fucking, we get it, you self-indulgent pieces of shit. It absolutely logically follows that you'd go from Liz to Bernie. We get it. There's no fucking explanation needed. Keep your 280 follower mouth shut. No one needs your 10-point plan as to why you're switching from Bernie to fucking Elizabeth Warren. Shut up. It's if you're going from Warren to Trump, that's fun. That's fun, and I want to hear it. And I want to see a Twitter thread. I want to see a Twitter thread of a woman who goes, I supported Elizabeth Warren. I'm proud of the work she's done. But now that she's out of the race, I'll be switching my support 100% completely to Donald Trump, to Donald J. Trump. That's a good thread. That's worth our fucking time. Tell us why you're going to Trump now. That would be fun. Not Warren to Bernie. We get, of course. We get it. I just think that Liz did a great job, but because of sexism and because of, I'm going to support Bernie right now because I feel like he is the candidate with the bet. No, I want to hear, I supported Liz, but I'm now supporting Donald Trump. I'm supporting Donald J. Trump because I believe in our strong economy, strong borders. That's a fun turn to make. I don't know. Is Bernie fucked? Here's what I would say. People have accused me. They're like, oh, Tim Dillon is ironically trying to be a Bernie bro, and now there's nothing about, I'm not a Bernie bro at all. I like Bernie. I would probably vote for Bernie because he's the anti-establishment candidate. That being said, there's some things I don't agree with him on. And I don't know really what his platform would be in the general election, but a lot of it I would agree with, like people not having to sell their blood plasma. That would be one. That would be a strong agreement I have with Bernie Sanders, that people shouldn't have to sell their blood to live in this country. That's all. I mean, again, I know that makes me some type of Hollywood sellout and shill. That's my favorite thing. They're like, Tim Dillon's a shill for Hollywood. And I'm like, yeah, because Bernie Sanders is what Hollywood wants. Nobody wants that guy. I'm telling you right now, nobody behind the wheel of a Range Rover wants this dude. I'm telling you, nobody in Hollywood, nobody on Wall Street, nobody in Palo Alto. Everybody wants somebody else. He's the only guy that really throws a scare into people with money. Trump doesn't. Stop. I'm not saying Trump isn't at war with other parts of the establishment. He is. Political establishment, 100%. But Trump does not bother rich people other than aesthetically. Like they don't like how vulgar he is and how crass he is. But he's not fucking with them. He said he was going to eliminate that carried interest loophole. He didn't do it. He said he was going to rein Wall Street in. I mean, he's done the opposite. And listen, the economy's good. It's good right now. Wages aren't up. If you don't have insurance, you're still fucked. That's my thing. I'm like, listen, my friend's mother got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. I mean, this is a woman that I considered defacing her grave last week, but I will now use her to make a point. But I only considered it briefly, and I don't even know how much money that would cost. And I was just going to write Trump 2020 on the grave so that other people. I just think it's funny to make a grave a Trump supporter. I think it's hilarious to go to someone's grave and put Trump 2020 all over their grave. Like, just put all kinds of. I think that's funny. This woman fought pancreatic cancer for 10 years and lived and, inspired like walks and all this stuff. But like during that time went into deep debt, mortgaging the house over and over, had to declare bankruptcy, eventually taking the phone off the hook, dodging creditors and stuff. And you're like, she felt guilty that she was still alive. She's like, I feel guilty. I'm saddling my husband with this kind of debt. I'm alive. What kind of system is that? And the Republican answer to that really is who cares? That's really who cares. That's the Republican answer to that is we don't care. Yeah. That's truly what it is. If there's a God, God's going to figure it out. We care about aborted fetuses. We mention them all the time. We keep track of how many they are, how many aborted fetuses. And then the Republicans are like, do you know how many aborted black fetuses there are? Because Republicans love black babies. You didn't know that. I didn't know that either. They adore black children. They love them, especially when they get to be teenagers. So Republicans want more black kids around. I didn't know that. But having gone on Twitter and read about aborted fetuses and how many of them were black and that Republicans adore black people. That was funny, too. It's like, during the whole immigration argument, they're like, immigrants come to this country, they take jobs from African Americans. It's like, this is the angle now? They're like, how are these African Americans going to make a living? It's like, remember when you were flooding their communities with cocaine so you could sell weapons to the Contras? Remember that? Not too long ago? Remember all that stuff? But, I just don't understand how you can. I understand being pro-life. Hey, if that's your conviction, good for you. I don't understand being really pro-life and then hearing a story like the one that I just told and going, we'll let the market figure it out. We'll let the market figure out at what point this woman should disconnect her phone while she's fighting for her life, trying to be a mother and a wife, fighting for her life. We'll just, hey, is that even political anymore? I mean, honestly, is that even a political question? Like, I don't even understand if that's a political question, that system is fucked. And the answer to that on the Republican side is, well, you know. And they'll go into this long explanation about why everything's fucked. And you're like, okay, but what are we going to do now? You know? But we need $1 trillion for the Pentagon. We need $1 trillion for the Pentagon. We need $1 trillion to nonstop build the future weapon systems. We need that. We need to be in a forever and ever, our civilization should only dedicate its resources to building ways to deliver death to the poorest people in the world. That's what we should do. Every innovation we have should be about trying to find another way to kill mass amounts of people. You know, I mean, we need $1 trillion for that. I don't know if we can give any money to you and your pancreatic cancer. You're a big bummer. But I love that the idea is like that somehow I've gone Hollywood. I hate the left. I'm not a Marxist. I hate identity politics. I think the corporate left is particularly disgusting. I think there's some smart thinkers on the left. There's some smart thinkers on the right, too. People are like, one guy on the Patreon, which I'm not even going to read anymore, but one guy goes, you can't think Bernie Sanders has anything valuable to say and quote Thomas Sowell. It's like, you can. You absolutely can. Absolutely can. Thomas Sowell might hate everything Bernie Sanders has to say. That doesn't mean that Bernie Sanders and Thomas Sowell don't have some overlap there. There probably is. The solutions are probably different. But again, it's like the reason that you don't have a podcast and that no one listens to you and no one cares about what you say is because you are a person that can't fathom that you haven't figured it all out. That's really what it comes down to. Out there, wherever you live, and I'm sure it's great, but wherever you happen to be, you don't like that there's somebody out there that might add to the dialogue and it might not line up with everything that you've figured out in your life of learning and acquiring all the knowledge that you've acquired. I don't know how. I imagine most of it through podcasts and cable news because you're a smart guy. And you know that everybody that thinks to the left of you is wrong about everything and there's no way that any of them are right. Thank you. I have such smart listeners. I forget sometimes how intelligent my listeners are and how lucky I am to have them. I'm so lucky to have so many smart people. Like when I have somebody on the Patreon they disagree with, and they go, oh, there's a lot of smart conservatives. Oh, you should have a smarter conservative on. Really? So that's what you wanted. You wanted a smarter version of the thing you hated. You wanted a more effective version of what you hated. Okay, well, find one. You know, we'll find one for you. That's my favorite thing. You're like, this episode sucked. I hated this guy. I can't believe you had him on. And next time, find a version of him that's smarter. What? I want to be more enraged. Thank you all. You know, the idea that you can't hold different ideas in your head at once. Like, I think this woman should have been given health care, but I also consider defacing her grave. These are two ideas that were held in my head simultaneously. You know? I don't know the best way to do it. I don't know if getting rid of the private health insurance is completely the way to do it. I think Medicare for all is probably the direction we need to move in as a country. 100%. How you move in that direction, we'll see. I don't know. But Bernie's the only guy, if you're a student of history, and even not history, of fucking the present, which takes a lot less. Just be a student of the present. Understand what's happening in front of you. Bernie's the only guy they're scared of. They're scared of him. Not even the Republicans, his own party. The Republicans are probably scared of him too. But his own party is frightened of him. You know, Klobuchar, Pete Buttigieg dropping out, both endorsing Biden right before the South Carolina primary is as close as you get to a maneuver, a manufactured set of circumstances to boost Biden. Warren staying in, by the way. All of these things boost one candidate. Yes, Bernie didn't connect with black people. He didn't connect with, older women, older voters. But that being said, one of the reasons that Biden got a groundswell of support was because this race had a lot of different people in it up until the fucking night before, when two of them said, by the way, vote Biden. Vote for Joe. And that got him more momentum. Now, that doesn't mean that Sanders people don't have work to do with young people. A lot of young people didn't show up. I think he went a little too hard at Obama, and I think that's why a lot of the African-American Democrats, that's a sizable, group there. It's a sizable, I forget the word, but it's just like a sizable part of their coalition. The Democrats have always, I forget the word. Now I know everyone on Twitter is going to be like, I know the word. I know what word, what is it? Contingency? What is like when you're? It's an interest group within the party. I'm trying to think of the word. The word, like they're important. Like women are an important blank of the Democrats. So they're important. I don't know. I
know what you're trying to say, but I can't think of the word either.
So, maybe Sanders is fucked. Maybe you're going to have Joe Biden, whose brain is broken, whose brain is melted, who can barely string words together, who's very creepy with women and children. He's just a creepy guy. You're going to run him. You're going to run a guy who's a Washington insider, who's hopelessly corrupt, whose son is working. Everybody in Washington's son works for the same Ukrainian energy company, by the way. Isn't that fun? You're going to run a corrupt guy with dementia. So if he does remember what he says, it's going to be a lie. It'll be corrupt. Because he's, you're running him against Trump. Now, Trump is another guy who's a liar, who, I don't know, people are saying that he's in some stage of mental decline. He's doing a lot better than Joe Biden. Maybe he is crushing Adderall and snorting it. I don't know, but he's doing a lot better than Joe Biden. He's much better than Joe Biden. I don't know what to tell you. Just old guy versus old guy. You go with Trump in terms of cognitive abilities. Easily you go with Trump. You go, fuck yeah. That guy, he's entertaining. I mean, Joe Biden was not a vice president that anyone truly gave a fuck about. He was just there. He was making gaffes in the primary. Said Obama's the first nice, clean black guy that ran for president. Like, these are the things he was saying in the primary. I mean, the Trump versus Biden debate will be the debate when we go, we don't need a country anymore. It'll be so embarrassing. We will call China like a kid at a sleepover that's not working out, calls his parents, and we'll be like, come now. Don't wait. Get in the car. I'm ready now. We're ready. Let's go. Let's get out of here. We don't care how many bat flus you got. Just come and run this thing, please. One thing you guys know how to do is run something efficiently, Sometimes I'm somewhere and I don't have a wallet that I want. I just have a wallet that I don't want. And I'm so upset and I get fucking mad. And I'm mad because to me a wallet is something you should have as a man, as a big man. You should have these as a woman. Even as a woman, you should have a wallet. As a woman wallet. You have a big wallet. I got a big wallet. I'm doing the Ridge ad as Joe Biden. Here's some language about Ridge. Inspiring you. Obama, Biden. Biden, Obama. You know, we had an old wallet when I grew up. There was a guy named Chucky. He had this old leather bastard wallet. And I used to put it in the back pocket of my pants, but my ass smelled. So I'd put it out on the table and everybody'd say, Grandpa Joe, that wallet smells like ass. And I'd say, yeah, because I've been working all day. This country was built by workers. They're built by smelly asses like mine with leather wallets. And I'd put it on the table, and then my wife would make stew, and I would eat that stew, and I'd realize that things were good, you know, baseball. And so what I decided to do is I decided to get a Ridge wallet. It's a minimal front pocket schmallet that's designed to streamline what you carry every day. Every day you carry things. You have the things you carry in you, with you, sort of, with you, inside of you. And every day you work hard for this country, and you carry your babies and your children, your chapsticks in your pouch. And you need a Ridge wallet. It's a minimal front pocket wallet that's designed to streamline what you carry. There's 35-star reviews. What a better way to carry your cash and cards. Obviously, I'm kidding. I'm doing that ad as Joe Biden. But I do love a Ridge wallet. Thank you for giving me ridgewallet.com/someone else.
No, above that. That always just comes in the copy as an example for me to put in the YouTube video.
That's good. Ridge.com, promo code Tim, T-I-M. If you don't use the promo code, fuck off. Don't do it. Ridge.com/Tim. Ridge wallets are great. We all use them. You get a couple of cards in there, a little cash, nothing much, crisp $100 bill, your lawyer's phone number. That's all you need to go and fucking tackle the world. Set it on fire. Make something of yourself. Make something of your family. Okay? I love about Ridge. It's two metal plates bound together by a durable elastic band. The Ridge looks nothing like a traditional wallet. Here it is. Give it to me. Titanium, carbon fiber, and aluminum fiber ensures that there's an option for everyone. Look at this fucking thing. This is hot as fuck. Okay? You only need a few things in there. It's safe. Okay? It's not going to fall apart. Okay? So fucking look at that little band. It's nice. Everybody wants that.
And some come with a clip. It's up to you.
I'm telling you right now, folks. Ridge.com/Tim. You got to do it. You got to get the Ridge wallet. I'm telling you. If you don't, you'll regret it. Joe Biden has several Ridge wallets because he kept losing his wallet. Kept losing his wallet. And Joe Biden's like, well, you got a Ridge. You damn fool. You know? There's something likable about Biden because he's just so out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What did he say last debate? He's like, Tommy come lately.
No one knows.
Calls everybody Jack and Chuck.
Yeah. He's out of it. He's an old man. He's in his late 70s, you know?
Yeah.
He should be put out to pasture. He's about to be the president. He's running to be the president of the United States. The guy should be walking around, you know, the edge of his property, kind of muttering to himself.
Yeah.
Come on in, Dad. It's dinner time. That's the stage of life you should be at. He's going to be the president? Whoa. But get a Ridge wallet. Ridge.com/Tim, T-I-M. Do you like that Ridge? Do you like that Ridge?
I have a beat prepared. Do you want to?
Do you really? Oh, yeah, you do?
Yeah, here we go.
Wow. Yo, Ridge wallet. Are you using an old leather wallet? Just stop it. Jussie Smollett. Faker. Liar. Get the new Ridge. That shit is fire. Stop talking about white genocide in South Africa. It might be an issue, but I don't know. It also might be a hysteria. Wuhan. Is it a bioweapon? Maybe. But stop your fucking schlepping and get a Ridge wallet. 9/11 didn't happen. The towers are still there. Thank you.
The towers are still there.
Ridgewallet.com/Tim. What's very funny, it's very comedic what we do here.
Mm-hmm.
Many other podcasts are not funny, and they do better than us, but they're not funny. It's very interesting. If you're a comic and you're not funny, you have a real chance of making it. Like, if your comedy is for, like, it's amazing to me. If you don't have anything funny to say, this might be the job for you.
Yeah.
Truly, like, when somebody tells me they're a comic now, and I'm like, this guy's not funny, I'm like, you're going to do well. You're going to do very well. You're going to do very well. You have nothing funny to say. It's going to happen. Going to happen for you. ridgewallet.com/Tim. Goodbye. There's nothing like it could. I'm having the apartment I live in detox from the strep germs, the chemicals, and we're having, maids come in and, having all the bedding taken out. And so I'm in a hotel for a few days. There's nothing better than a nice hotel. There really isn't. And I learned that from my mother. My mother loves hotels. People that really love hotels hate their lives because that's what a hotel is. It's a break from your life. It's like, let's get away from your father. Let's just get out. Oh, another swim meet? Great. And we get to stay in a hotel. It's just far enough away where we can stay in a Marriott and have the breakfast buffet, and I don't have to look at this guy that I married. And I don't have to sit in my house. I don't have to sit in my loveless home. So if you really love hotels, like, you hate your life. You look around at the four walls you live in and you go, But a hotel's nice. It's a nice change of pace. It's a nice pretend. And I remember that my mother loved when I found out that the swim meet was far enough away where we couldn't drive home the next day. And my dad wasn't the dad from Forrest Gump. Like, he wasn't raping us and drinking on the couch. They just hated each other. They just didn't like each other, right? They didn't like each other after a while. There was just nothing to like. After a while, you hit a wall. You just hit a wall, and you got to find a partnership that makes sense, and then most of it is like, raise the kids. Let's raise the kids. Some of it's like, let's make money. When you see like a husband and wife realtor team in the suburbs, they hate each other. They're just trying to do something so that they don't have to hate each other. And God bless them, it works maybe. I don't know. My parents weren't fucking realtors, I'll tell you that much. Poor fucks. But every now and then we could get away. Go to a hotel. Be away from our lives, from our home. Be away from all of the things that make you cry, that make you sad. You check into a hotel, you're a different person. You're a guest. You're somebody's guest. I am a guest here. This situation is impermanent, but it's beautiful. You clean up the room. You clean up after me. You bring me food in my bed. I can eat in my bed if I want because I'm a guest. Things are special. Makes you feel like when you were a kid and you were sick and you left school and your grandmother came and got you and said, let's hit Blockbuster on the way home. Let's get you what you want to eat. You're a guest. This doesn't happen all the time. You're sick. You've earned this. Treat. Go get a little Roy Rogers. Little Roy Rogers. Back to the Future. Whatever you were watching at that time in your life. And it was something nice. And that's the way I feel in a hotel. I check in and I want to let them know. As soon as I check into a hotel, I want to let them know I'm going to be a problem. That's the first thing I do when I check into a hotel is alert them to the fact that today you're going to work today. You're going to go to work today. I know that a lot of you are young and hot, and you think the service industry is for young, hot people, and you see celebrities here, and occasionally you take a shot with them, and maybe they take you in the room and fuck you or whatever. You think it's cool. You think it's cool. Well, let me tell you, that all ends right now because it's work. It's work today. I've arrived. First thing we do, let's talk about the room. Where am I going? Yes, I booked third party. Stop yelling that out like I give a shit. I am a proud member of the American people. Okay? I have privileges you don't even know about. I have pretend privileges that are unearned that I will fucking trot out in front of you. Yes, I booked your hotel tonight. Yes. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to lie, and I have an assistant that booked the room. I say, you booked third party through hotel tonight. And I go, oh, did she? Oh, did she? My assistant handles this. I pick a nicer hotel, and then I usually say, I go, oh, this isn't the Beverly Hills Hotel. Where's this? Oh, I guess this will be okay. I walk into the hotel. I look around, and I'm horrified. No matter how palatial and beautiful it is, I'm kind of off. I'm like confused. I'm confused. I go to check in. I go, I don't know what's happening. I try to get my assistant on the phone, which is very tough because I do not have one. I try to get my assistant on the phone. There's a problem with the room. Is the room not a suite? Is the room not? Hold on. Hold on. That Asian couple will be fine. You get to them in a minute. They're quiet people. They will wait. They're quiet, respectful people. That's why they're running the world. They will wait. Allow me this moment. So explain to me that the room's not a suite. When the room isn't a suite, I go, explain to me what it is. What is the room? It's a bed? Like a shelter. Is it quarantine? Is it Wuhan quarantine? Yes, gay guy, thin gay guy who thinks he's the shit. You're at work today. You're at work today. I apologize. Okay? I'd like to be on cocaine sucking everyone's cock too. But guess what? We got to work. So the first thing I do is we let them know. Mm-hmm. Room service is what, 24 hours? Is it a full menu? Can I get the restaurant food delivered to my room, or am I going to have to go with that in-house dining menu? That in-house dining menu. Or will you bring me up your restaurant food to my room? Already they start to kind of like, they're like, yeah, we should be able to work something out. Okay. What floor am I on? 2? I'm on floor 2 right now, but I got a better room. That's why I took floor 2. But usually if they give me a low floor, I go, I'm sorry. Do you have rooms on those floors? You have guest rooms? That's not some type of, is that not like an underground garbage facility that the hotel uses? Do you actually have a room on? Press them. I like to call up as soon as I get in the room. I like to call the front desk and I go, hi, am I in the wrong room? Oh, no, this is it. I go, this is it? Then you go like this. You go, no, it's fine. Okay. Yeah, hey, it's fine. I'll make do. That's a great one. I go, I'll make do. Then I call about 5 minutes later. I go, the water in the shower isn't hot. I like to steam in the shower a little bit. I also would like a seat in the shower, like a marble ledge I can sit on and steam. After the shower, I like to spend 20 minutes just with the water running really hot because of climate change, and then breathe in the vapor of the shower. It opens me up because I speak for a living. Is that any way we can do that? Any way we can find a seat for me in the shower? I don't love the water. I noticed a little orange under one of the seats in my rooms. I called up and I said, no, there's an errant piece of fruit in the room. Was that in someone else's mouth that had coronavirus? That's the first thing I said. I go, was someone coughing on that had coronavirus? Is that part of the welcome package? Hey, is the orange under the seat part of the welcome package? Because what I'm about to do is come down to the lobby and start coughing. So is that what you'd like? Because I could come down to the lobby and start coughing and yelling Wuhan right now. Because I'm a wild motherfucker. So what I can do is I could come down to the lobby, literally bare ass, start coughing and yelling Wuhan. Is that what we want? Yes or no? Let me know. I'm here to help you. Okay? That's all. I want it to be nice. Like at the Carlisle Hotel. They knew what we're about. We checked in. put us in room 911.
Yeah.
Immediately I go, they get it. They get it. Room 911. Yep. Didn't even ask if it was an issue. Just put us right in room 911 in New York City. A beaut. That's a beaut. That's a hotel that gets you, that sees you and goes, fuck yeah. Understands. What, you know, when you were a kid, did you go on vacations ever?
Once. We went to Disneyland, everyone fought, and then we never went on vacation again. We just gave up on it.
Disneyland in California.
Or Disney World in Florida.
Florida. Yeah. How old were you?
12. We drove all the way across, like in a van we rented, and someone had smoked a bunch of cigarettes in it. Everyone fought, and everyone hated each other. The air conditioning didn't work, and then we literally never went on vacation ever again. My mom would be like, anyone want to go on vacation this summer? And everyone would go, nope, we're good. And then she would cry, and then
I went on, see, he talks. I went on, very good. We'll do it again next week. Stop harassing Ben out there, by the way.
Yes. Oh, and also Hotel Tonight, please sponsor the podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, good idea. I will, listen, I got to be honest with you, Hotel Tonight, because we say a lot of wild shit on here, but let's get fucking real. Nobody knows luxury like nobody knows luxury like I do. You listening to me? Okay? Nobody understands luxury. Okay? Like I do. You might not like that. That might not be nice for you because I'm not some young, you know, half black, half Asian, you know, hot, you know, whatever, pansexual wet nurse. I don't know what you want, but I'll tell you right now, nobody knows luxury like this fat Irish man from Long Island. I know it all. I've got class. For years, the Irish have been shit on and called animals for good reason. And I've worked hard to fight that stereotype by going to restaurants and hotels that I have no money in the bank. I'll die. I don't care. I spend my money on niceties, luxuries, little macaroons. They brought the room service little macaroons. Eat them, you know. So I know this shit, Hotel Tonight. Now, Hotel Tonight is for people that are you're marketing it right now. It's people that are fucked. Last minute people that, you know, they come into a city or whatever, and they're like, and it's a great app and whatever. And I understand that, but I'm telling you right now, you got some nice hotels on there. You need daddy to open the luxury division of Hotel Tonight. That's what you need. Luxury. Hotel Tonight luxury. I like hotels, and this is the slogan. Are you ready? Hotel Tonight. I like hotels because I hate my life. Hotel Tonight. Be a person for 24 hours. Be a person till 12 p.m. Maybe 1 if you get a late checkout. That's what you need to start marketing as. Are you disgusted with your circumstances, your decisions, your friends, your family? How about a little trip? For 24 hours, you can exist in a completely different environment where no one can legally tell you to leave. Hotel Tonight. Do you hate your life? Perfect. Hotel Tonight. I love hotels because I hate my life. That's the direction you need to head in. I went when I was a kid to Disney World. I've talked about this ad nauseum. I have bits about it on stage. I'm not going to go into it. My parents went to kind of like save their marriage. It was a fucking disaster. I went back when I was a tap dancer in a dance troupe. I did the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. This is when I was an actor. From 6 to 12, I was a fucking actor. Nobody's done anything in this audience. 6 to 12, I was an actor. I was in nothing really, not a lot. I was in some community theater. I was in some fucking NYU like student film. Like, listen, you know, I tried. I got to like second call back, third call back for Grace Under Fire, and then Brett Butler, that drunk, didn't choose me. She chose the Sweet Life Cody, one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Dylan or Cody.
Yeah. Let me see their name.
Yeah, well, whatever. That was probably a better investment long term.
Oh, Sprouse, Cole Sprouse.
Yeah, isn't that?
Yeah,
isn't that the Zach and the two fucking twinks on a boat or something?
Yeah, the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Yeah.
The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Yeah, Cole Sprouse and Dylan Sprouse. I was
Yeah,
right.
the Sprouses. They were on the Dan Schneider cruise. And they chose those fucks, whatever. You know, bygones. And I was a tap dancer before cool black guys took it over. Like Savion Glover, who's a genius. And then everybody wanted to go see Stomp. But before that, fat white men used to dance in this country. Like Jackie Gleason. This is why Trump got elected. Fat white men who were light on their feet used to dance. And people would love it. And the cool black guys started dancing. And then what are the white people going to do? They vote for Donald J. Trump. What happened was when I went to the Disney World, I thought we'd be in like a theater or something, you know. And in the dance classes, there was me and there was one other fat kid. There was another guy and he was just a fat guy. I don't even know if he was gay or not. I think it was sadder if he wasn't gay. But his name was George. And my dad had nothing to be like masculine or competitive about with me. He was never like, oh, we weren't in sports, so he couldn't be like, we're going to kill the Tigers today or whatever fucking Little League team. So he's like, you're better than that fat George guy. He's like, you're a better dancer than George. I'm like, I know I am. He's like, you're going to fucking, I'm sure they'll give you the bugle boy. You know, so that's all he can be competitive about with me, you know? Poor guy. But, you know, have more kids, you selfish boomer. I'm sure that someone else would have came out that would have been better. Point is, fat George didn't get it. I got it. I was a bugle boy, so I get to go down to Florida, you know, with all these, you know, like truly talentless, predominantly Jewish women. A lot of Danas, a lot of Rebeccas, and just, you know, like not good. So we go down to Florida. You have go play the song from Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. I want people to hear what it sounds like. The boogie 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 boogie. It's an annoying 1920s like fucking like.
Let me make sure it's not copyrighted.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, it's copyrighted.
All right, but it's like the boogie 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 company B, the Tuskegee Airmen are fine or whatever. I don't know, but what it was. So then they fucking. We perform on this stage outside in Disney World that's by the bathrooms. So all these fat tourists are trying to go, they're on a bathroom. We're performing for the bathroom line, literally. And it smells like shit because the shit is wafting out from the bathroom. It's 120 degrees. And we're just flailing around on this stage in the heat. This is what show business really is. That's what all these people get into comedy. They're like, it's not fair. It's like, it's not supposed to be. It's watching your life get ground up like meat, you idiot. So I came from this shit, so I knew how fucking, so we're like flailing our arms around and dancing, and it's, the number plays over and over again, right? So there's no new number. There's no new dance. Like, it's just, you saw the one dance, and then, and then it's like, boom, and then it starts again, it goes, the boogie boogie boom. So these fat tourists on the line are like, so then they start to turn their back to us because they've had enough, I mean, they've seen enough. So literally, I'm watching fat tourists on a bathroom line just turn their back to you in the middle of like, a boogie boogie. That to me is Disney World. Like that was, and then at the end of the trip, we went on Splash Mountain, right? And that was fun. So that's Disney World, and that's life for most people. Hell, heat, the smell of shit, and then one moment of weightlessness, and then here's a picture that they'll sell you. That's what it is. You waft through the smell of other people's shit. You're just sweating. You don't know where you're going. You don't know why you're there. You're embarrassed. You're afraid. And then at the end, you get to go down the log flume. You have one moment of weightlessness. That's all life is. You get a photo, you know? So Disney World never did it for me. But then my dad actually, to his credit, took me to a fucking cool place called the Blantyre, which was a fucking castle in Massachusetts. I've talked about this on the show before. That I was into because we saw people that were working class get abused. And that made me and my dad happy because poor people love seeing other poor people get abused. And when the old woman was there, she's like, where's Maurice? I've done everything and all my planning has been with Maurice. I don't know who you are. Go and find him. When you see an old woman with a chunky jewel necklace throw her hand in someone's face and go from me now. Be gone. It's great. Okay? See, I haven't gone full Bernie, bro. and Blantyre was cool. We went a few other places. We went to this place to Chatham Sheep Herding Company. It doesn't exist anymore. That was cool. Everybody goes on these all-inclusive, and I get it because they're regular people, and there's nothing wrong with being a regular person. It's never really interested me, but many of you seem to be having a fine time doing it. But the all-inclusive thing or the cruise thing or it's kind of gross to me. I think going out in nature's cool, going to a different city is cool, learning things on your own, letting things happen organically. But the idea that like when you're treated like cattle, which is how a lot of people go on vacations, they're treated like cattle and they're basically, they go, these people can't make any decisions for themselves. And they're right. And they can't. They're right.
Yeah.
Here's how much these people can't make decisions. Endorsements still matter. That shocked me. In the presidential race, like endorsements matter. Like Jim Clyburn in South Carolina endorsing Biden matters. It's like, guys, you know who these people are. They've been on your TV. You've seen them. You know what they're about. And you still need somebody to go, no, you click that lever. You vote for this person. These are grown adults. These are grown adults who need another person to go, I think you should vote for this person. Okay. I mean, so that's my problem with a lot of these vacations is you just don't, you're not allowed, it's all, you're corralled into a group and you're like, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. And I'm sure a lot of them are fun. Listen, I work a lot. I don't go out of time. I travel a lot for work. I understand that but to me, it's like, it's more fun. I think it's a much better story to go to a place with your fiance and you go on a vacation and then she gets kidnapped and you have to save her. And of course you don't save her. That's Hollywood shit. She gets killed. But then you come back from that trip and you're a different person. You understand things that you didn't understand previously. You're able to kind of process the world in a different way. To me, I think that's a better. Now, I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe I am, but but that's my whole thing with where we're headed. I don't think Bernie's going to win, which is a bummer, but he really could. He could. His fans that are kind of throwing their hands up, Ray Kump had a great tweet. He's like, you fucking graphic designers, your candidate's still viable. You're sitting in a coffee shop. Yeah. How are you less tough than an 80-year-old guy who had a heart attack? It's true. It's true. He's still out there. I hope that he wins. I really hope. And it would be an interesting general election campaign to see those two guys go at it. And as long as Bernie doesn't do something stupid and crazy with the open borders or whatever, I think he's got a really good argument against Trump. That being said, what do I know? I mean, I think a lot of it is going to come down to like, what the fuck is this virus going to do? What's the economy going to do? Is this a blip? Is this a fucking real deal thing? 2 months from now, are we going to be broadcasting literally from like a safe house somewhere? Where me and Ben are just spraying each other with things? We're broadcasting in... Dude, we should have done full hazmat suits.
Oh, fuck.
We should have done full hazmat suits for the show. Full hazmat suits. Have fun when you can. Cough a little bit when you're out. I was at the Beverly Hills Hotel just coughing. Wuhan. Sorry, I just got back from China. Stop waving your hands. China. I can still smell the body is burning. and then turn around to the waitress and go, sliced tomato, too. You bring a slice. You know, is there anything better than a slice of tomato, folks? Very, good, deep red slice of tomato. I don't care that Monsanto dyed it. Who gives a shit? A slice of fucking tomato will change your life. Just make you a better person, Make you a better person. A few other things I wanted to talk about. I think it'd be great if Hotels Tonight did sponsor us. I just don't know if that's going to happen.
Reach out to them.
Yeah.
Tweet at them. They'd sponsor the show.
Yeah, tweet at Hotel Tonight, guys, and check your avatar before you tweet at them. Okay? If it's an end white genocide avatar, let's not tweet at them. Okay? That might not be the, Like, let's just check our avatar and make sure that our avatar might be appropriate for the corporate sponsorship we're trying to get from Hotel Tonight. It's a great fucking app. And I got a lot of status on. I should be given so much more free shit. I plug people for free all the time. I get a lot from those steakhouses in New York City. I talk about quality restaurant group, quality meats, quality Italian, all that stuff. Except I ate a quality bistro and I was not happy. Really not happy. I hope they get it together. But I ate there very early on, and I think they'll get it together. I hope they get it together because it was really, it was a problem. Yeah. It was a problem. And this is my family that's involved in some of that, and I love them. But it was an affront to human decency, that restaurant at that particular moment. They brought over a hunk of butter, and they said, we have butter service. They were doing a parody on like bottle service. They go, we have butter service. And I went, what? What's going on? Why are you bringing a hunk of butter? It's stomach churning to see a hunk of butter. Guys, you don't understand what I mean a hunk. I mean a hunk. Like it was like a foot of butter.
Different flavors of butter? Or
just a foot of butter. And then they put it on the thing with different spices and herbs, and then it's still not good. It's like, doesn't taste good. Bad. Figure it out. Quality Meats, one of my favorites. Quality Italian, love it. Smith & Wolinski's, classic. Don Angie, great. Figure it out, Quality Bistro. Figure it out. There's a lot of people listening to this. Could be a great pre-theater restaurant. Figure it out. That French onion soup was fucking bad. Was not good. Watery. Not good. I pulled the manager aside. It's a lovely Asian woman. I went right up to her and I went, woo. No, I didn't, but I went up to her and I said, this is one of the worst meals I've ever had in my life. I looked right at her and I said, hi, how are you? Good. I said, this is unacceptable. It's one of the worst meals I've ever had in my life, and I don't know what you're going to do. I said, I don't know what you're going to do here because I can barely even come up with suggestions to make this better because it was such an affront to human decency, the meal. The chocolate mousse was served on a slate like it looked like human shit. Mousse looks like human shit. Mm-hmm. So what you got to do with chocolate mousse is like make it pretty. Make it pretty. You can't put it on a slate like it's shit. I was aghast. I'm going to give it another shot. We might pop in there when we're in the city for Caroline's. I might give it another shot. I was unhappy. And I was vocally unhappy. My mother, I grew up with a woman who would put the service industry through all types of hell. It's one of the things I respected about her. Okay? And she would demand things. Demand. And stop with all your fucking liberal socialists, like fucking, I feel bad for the working class. No, you don't. You're just mad that you suck. You don't care about the working class. The working class, many of them are Trump rallies. And many of them are monster car shows. You don't care. You talk about all these people in LA talk about the working class and they start quoting Proust. Stop. You and the working class have never met each other, okay? Somebody who's broke because they're trying to be a slam poet is not the working class. It's actually the opposite. Someone who has the luxury of pursuing comedy and not working is by definition not the working class. My mother used to say to like waiters and waitresses, she'd be like, I want the French fries lightly cooked, and then the fries would come out and they wouldn't be. And she would look at the waitress and she'd go, listen, I gotta be honest with you. She goes, if the chef can't make French fries, I don't know that he's in the right business. She goes, and I just wonder what's going on back there. I'm confused. You know, she would just torture people. My father watched her once get up in a diner and walk into the kitchen. And my dad just saw a bunch of like Greek guys like staring at my mother, and she just yelled at a guy because the fish wasn't done the right way. You know, she wanted what she wanted when she wanted it. Mm-hmm. Brown the cheese on the pizza. If the pizza box got lifted up in the restaurant and there was not brown cheese, she'd go, hey, gotta go back in. Gotta go back in. And she'd call over this little wop. And she'd be like, come here. And he'd be like, oh, this fucking fat bitch. And he'd walk over and she'd go, hey, Giuseppe, can you put this back in the oven? You little garlic monkey. Thanks. So let him out. Let him know. If you're spending money, it's okay to hit people. It's okay to hurt them. It's okay to smash them. Take the phone right out of their hand. Oh, I'm talking to you, my child. No, you're not. Grab that phone. Your mother's at work. We've been too nice to people. This is why I think I am for giving people health care so I can treat them like shit. Do you understand that? I care about people. If you don't complain, you don't care. Mm-hmm. I want you to be the best. I've done this a million times, but I want you to be the best. So if I see you not being the best, I have to tell you you're not being the best. Or if your institution is not being the best, I got to let them know. I don't rat. I'm not a rat. So I won't tell on you. But I will just make your life miserable by being myself a lot. That's all. But that's why I want you to have health insurance. I don't think you should get cancer. I think you should be able to go to the doctor, and then you should be able to go to work and fucking deal with me. Because it's work time. Okay? I'm sorry, gay guy who's not as good looking as he thinks he is. Otherwise, he wouldn't be working at the hotel. I'm sorry. It's not time to just take Molly and zone the fuck out. Wake up. Wake up. I got a lot of issues. Is my room a corner room or not? Oh, it's not. Oh, we got a lot of work to do. Open up the ledger. What do we got? What kind of rooms we got left? That's the reality. You know? That's why, and this is the working class argument. Provide the people with health insurance. Provide them with health insurance so you can spit on them. I mean, is that wrong? I think it's pretty good. Provide them with a living wage and make them work for it. Climb over the counter in the Wendy's. You cannot yell at a fucking kiosk. You can't threaten a kiosk. A touchscreen thing. That's why I need real people. You can't get real people out of the workforce. Can't get real people out of the workforce. That's why I support giving people health care, giving them child care so that their children can be looked after while they are brutalized. That's why I'm not a Marxist. I don't believe in this horse shit. We're all equal. We're not all equal, you dumb fuck. We're not equal at all. You're going to get the boot in the fucking face. But, should get health care. You should get health care. But you should also be beaten. A lot of that is, some of that is kidding, but a lot of that is not. I truly, I was beaten. I'm beaten now. Listen, all of you giving me your opinions and your fucking tweets, that's you spitting in my face. because I have to listen to that, and some of it I have to take into account. Now, none of it I do. But I've had so many shitty jobs. The idea that you don't learn anything from a shitty job, this is where those fucking Bernie stands and all you fuckers, this is where you don't learn. You don't know anything about life, truly. Truly don't know anything about life. You're all from Vermont, and you're all white, you're disgusting. The point is this. I oscillate every week from alt left to alt right. All the Antifa people are mad now, but the other people have their torches up. Next week, they are extinguishing their torches angrily, and the Antifa people with the black things are like this. Imagine people voting for Bloomberg. Imagine believing in less than nothing. This guy's obviously buying your vote, buying the race. Yeah. He's made no qualms about it. It's his strategy. Buying the elections is strategy. People that believe in, Mayor Pete or Amy, people that voted for them, they don't believe in anything either, but they just believe in nothing, right? They believe in tomato soup, civility, snow, like they like the holidays. They're just those people. Bloomberg's people believe in less than nothing. It's a nihilism that I could never even get near on my darkest, blackest day. I mean, they believe in less than nothing. They're pawns in an operation. They're not getting anything out of it. Wuhan, unless you are Wuhan, Wuhan. It's not. I went to the thing. It's not. It's strep. It's postnasal. But I know rich people from New York City that voted for him. Sure. I know that. Yeah, sure. But I mean, if you're in fucking Tennessee and you vote for a guy like Mike Bloomberg and you think he gives a fuck about you just because what is your criteria for who you elect? How many commercials you see? Then vote for Hardee's. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Vote for Chili's. If your only criteria is how many commercials are on the air in a span of time. But that's the country you're living in. That's the country you're living in. You're living in a country where millions of people around the country cast their votes for Mike Bloomberg because he bought up all the airtime on their television. He bought up all the airtime on their TV. So in between Impractical Jokers reruns, there was Lizard Bloomberg going, I'm going to be a bad at it. And then these people, while they were eating, a bowl of Velveeta cheese salsa that they had balanced on their stomach, they swallowed Bloomberg's ad and they said, oh, I guess I'll vote for him because I believe in less than nothing. I don't even know there's an election happening. I barely know what's even happening. But I'll just do what the billionaire on TV tells me to do. I tip very well. I will say this. I tip really well. I think you should always tip well. This will be the closing thing of the show. Because everyone's going to be like, oh, you talk shit about service people. I only talk shit about the bad ones. The good ones I don't talk shit with and I'm not a dick to. But I was a bad service industry person, so I understand what it is. And you do have to just get better at what you do, and But I tip really well. I think you should always tip really, really well. Even if you have a disagreement with somebody, like there was a woman who used to work at this diner, and she was very rude to me. And I was kind of a dick back to her, but I still tipped her really well. And afterwards, as I was walking out of the diner, I spit in her face. And then she ran out after me, and me and my friends hit her with our car. But I tip 20%. Always. Always 20%. Wuhan. TimDillonComedy.com for all the dates, for all the tickets, and the dates, and the tickets, and the dates, and the tickets. Just get the tickets. All of the shows are coming up. We're in Caroline's in New York City. We're in Philly.
Des Moines.
March 19th to the 21st, we're at Helium Comedy Club in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Come on out to that. Where are we, Ben? Tell them where.
Des Moines at the Funny Bone, March 26th through the 28th.
Des Moines, Iowa. Come on out. That's Johnny Gosh territory.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to talk to anybody out there when you're...
I don't think so. I might. I don't know. Omaha's really where it happened. I mean, Omaha's the whole Franklin scandal, but Iowa's where, I might take a photo in front of his house. Everyone will be like, that's the guy who kidnapped Johnny. I somehow get arrested. Yeah. I wasn't even alive. They blame it on me. They blame it on Ray Kump. Listen, I wasn't even alive. You're saying I trafficked somebody?
Oh, you didn't promote Caroline's, by the way.
Well, when does this come out? Oh,
yes,
listen, guys.
Coming out tonight.
Caroline's, March 12th through the 14th.
Yeah.
Caroline's. A lot of tickets have sold. There's some left. Get them.
Yeah.
Thursday sold out. There's some left Friday, Saturday.
Then we got Bloomington, House of Comedy, April 9th through the 11th.
Listen, guys, this is my nightmare. This is the Mall of America, April 9th through the 11th in Bloomington, Minnesota. This is my literal nightmare. We're going to film a lot of content. It's going to be fun. Please get tickets for that show, Bloomington, Minnesota, Mall of America, April 9th through the 11th. I mean, this is like everything I talk about. It's the physical manifestation and representation of everything I've ever spoken about on the show. It's like an indoor roller coaster that like drops you into a vat of blue cheese. It's an absolute nightmare. We're a disgusting country, but please come and enjoy it with me. After there, where are we?
Albany at the Funny Bone.
Funny Bone in Albany. Albany is a nothing place. It's just opioid addiction and nothing.
Yeah. April 17th through the 18th there.
Yeah.
And then back to Texas, Dallas, Texas at Hyenas, April 23rd through the 25th.
Yeah, April 23rd through the 25th, Dallas. I love Dallas. It's one of my favorite cities. I adore Dallas. If you don't know why I like Dallas, go to Corporate Steakhouse and listen to that episode. I describe what I love about Dallas, and that it's that everywhere you look is a Corporate Steakhouse.
Then the live podcast in L.A.
Wow, I think it's almost sold out. Live podcast, Roosevelt Hotel, Los Angeles. Wild. We should add a second show. I'm going to talk to my agent, see if we can add a second show. I don't know if we can. Maybe we add a second show that night. Well, that night we have the late show already. Maybe we had a Sunday show. I don't know. We'll see what we can do.
Then you're going to Columbus at the Funny Bone.
Yeah, we can't do it. We're not going to do the whole tour. But go on the fucking website. Get Columbus Funny Bone, folks. TimDillonComedy.com. You know, we're going to do 40 dates here. We're going to sit here like, and then you're going to Ann Arbor, Michigan. I go, that was good.
Oh, I'm showing that tickets are sold out for the Netflix thing.
A lot of people are saying tickets are sold out for the Netflix thing. Let's find out. Let's see if we can add a show. Let's see what we can do. I don't know if we can do that. I mean, we've done a lot of great things here today. I've made the case for national health insurance better than anyone running has. Why do poor people need health insurance? You can demean them. You can really, hit them with a fire poker. That's why they deserve it. That's why they deserve it. Like if you're a lord in England and you're going, you're in a horse and carriage and there's like a little street urchin and they look up at you and they got soot on their face from the mills and you go, get out of here, and he's all, hello, running around. That little bastard should be cared for. But they don't get to get in the fucking carriage and go to the nice house. Earn it. Next week, I'll just be like, Stalin. I just had a nice lunch, folks, and I become a monster after I have a nice lunch.
Well, you're like Oscar. You switch every week.
Oscar does switch every week. Oscar is the cat who's not my cat, but he's a friend of ours. And a friend of ours owns him. And we do a lot of content with Oscar. He's the big fat gray cat that everyone says, oh, he's a fat cat. Cat shouldn't be fat. It's like, shut the fuck up. The term is fat cat. Also, he's not as fat. I mean, I know people say, but he is just a lot of his fur. Mm-hmm. But Oscar has been a member of most of the terrorist groups. Like he's in Antifa. He went to Charlottesville. He went in the alt-right. He's been in Iglesia de Cristo, which is the Filipino thing. Yeah. He's been in Golden Dawn, which is some right-wing thing in Greece. He's been a violent communist. He's been in Ansar al-Islam. He's been in ISIS. He's been in Al-Qaeda. Right now, he's currently working for Jair Bolsonaro in Brazil as a culture minister. Jules by podcaster Tim Dillon coming soon. We will let you know when we are setting up a...
And bonfire.com/store/the Tim Dillon Show. Those links are in Tim's bio.
Get some merch, bitches. Get some shirts. Get some hats. Get some mugs.
Wuhan.
Wuhan. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program. I don't love how much I'm hearing the term martial law. I don't love that. I'll tell you that much. You're hearing it a lot now. Gavin Newsom, governor of California, brought it up. You're hearing it, the press is bringing it up. And when you hear something like that over and over again, it feels like they're doing a soft launch for martial law. You know? It feels like they're just doing a little rollout. See how you react to the idea. You can't do things like that all at once because it inspires widespread panic and chaos. Suspending the Constitution and bringing in the military, that tends to make people a little iffy. So what they do, I think, is they introduce you to the concept little by little. A little shelter in place, a little shutdown, and we start seeing people at public parks, people working out, people doing things, people still gathering together in groups, and the government goes, I don't know if we're going to be able to weather the storm here without the tank. We might need the tank to come in and stop you from gathering in a park. I'm no fan of martial law. I do understand the shelter in place, And when I criticize the conspiracy community for saying that the virus isn't real, or the virus is just the flu, or the virus is a cover so that the government can arrest Tom Hanks, what I do fully understand and am quite aware of is that when you have a problem like this, like 9/11, which is so big and new, that you are going to have elements of the government and the private sector. You're going to have people, as Rahm Emanuel said, who was the chief of staff for Barack Obama and who is now the mayor of Chicago, or was, I believe he still is, the mayor of Chicago, as he said, never let a crisis go to waste. So there are going to be people that try to take the few remaining rights you have. So you have to be a little vigilant. That doesn't mean you go cough down an old person's throat. Doesn't mean, you ignore what's a clear reality, which is this is a, incredibly dangerous virus. But it means that you're vigilant and you understand that no government has ever emerged from a crisis with less power. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. The government now is growing in power. It's going to start to pay you to live, to stay home, to sit in your house. It's going to cut you a check. You don't have, and by the way, I'm for that. People need that. But just let's think about this. Let's zoom out for a little bit. And when we look at this, we go, you are now dependent on the government for everything. For everything. They've taken your ability in the short term to earn a living. And I understand that in the short term. I understand the need to close things, and I've told people to comply with this. But there does come a point where you're going to see, it's kind of like when you bring a car in to a mechanic and the mechanic is less than reputable and, they're like, yeah, it's totaled. We total out the car, You bring it in, because the headlight's out and they're like, yeah, it's totaled. You might as well. We're totaling the economy right now, the world economy. I mean, we are totaling the world economy. We are seeing a global depression take root. We are seeing potentially unemployment in the range of 20%. Containment has failed. The reports now out of New York and California, if you have symptoms, do not get tested unless you are in a very high-risk group and you're so sick that you have to go to the hospital. They are saving the tests for healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, first responders, people that are coming in contact with this virus and with sick people all the time. So at that point, when you say testing, we can't test anybody. The containment model, which is based on knowing who has this and who doesn't, trying to contain it, the social distancing, the shelter in place, all of that, might have some positive effect. Hopefully it does. But a lot of people are skeptical at this point about how much of a positive effect it will have. We should still do it. We should still do it for the time being. But I think a lot of people are saying you got to move into mitigation, which is basically the rapid development of antiviral drugs. They're talking about chloroquine or something. I believe that's the name that was used to fight malaria. But I was reading about the side effects on that last night. It could be blindness. And if you take an extra dose, sudden death.
You got it.
Yeah.
Chloroquine.
Yeah. If you take an extra dose of that, goodbye. So I don't know if that's the best idea to give to old people. I imagine that'll be given to them in a hospital. You take that with erythromycin, which is a Z-Pack. If you get bronchitis, you take a Z-Pack. Mm-hmm. Little erythromycin. Take the 5-day, 2 on the first day, and then boom, 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 boom. And it usually clears bronchitis. So if you take the chloroquine for malaria and the erythromycin, it is beating back the virus. I have a friend who's a doctor at Lenox Hill Hospital who said that actually the results are pretty good. Does it mean, Trump gets high marks here? This is, it's a colossal failure. It's a colossal failure to not have the tests, to not order more supplies in January and February when you had the intelligence community warning you about this, when you didn't have to have the intelligence community warning you about it because you're watching it happen in another country. It's a tremendous failure. It's a fireable offense. Whether you love the guy or hate the guy, it's a fireable offense because it was done correctly in other countries. I mean, South Korea. And again, I have no emotion here with this. I'm just telling you, I'm not South Korea, but yeah, South Korea. But Taiwan, 24 million people, 1 death, 85 cases. That was up until recently. And I'm sure their numbers are pretty similar to
153 cases and 4 deaths.
There you go.
Or 2 deaths, yeah.
That's Taiwan. They're right next to China. But they had been through SARS. They knew what this was going to look like. They got the masks immediately. They ordered the supplies. They made testing widely available. It's a high-tech health service they have where you get the results to your phone. They text you the results. You know exactly where you stand and if you have to go quarantine. So I don't care how much you love this guy and how much you think he is essential or whatever fairy tale you've concocted in your head about any of these people, any of our leaders that you love so much, yet have never met. I mean, all of these people would want nothing to do with you. The Obamas, the Trumps, they wouldn't want anything to do with you. Can you imagine your disgusting family, your marinara sauce covered fingers? Do you understand the way these people fucking look at you? When will you? When do you think you people will wake up? Is it when you're all in camps? I mean, truly. At what point do you understand that these people fucking look at you like a fucking rat scurrying across a busy street? they're puzzled by you. They're confused almost. They watch you run across the street, and if you make it, they go, huh, cool. And if you get hit by a car and you get squashed in the middle of the street, they go, ha ha. They don't necessarily rejoice, but it doesn't fuck up their day at all. I think we all need to grow up now. I really believe that. I think if we don't grow up, we're going to be in trouble as a species. And if we keep thinking that these people give a fuck about us and that they care about us on any level at all, we're going to delude ourselves to death. And I think it's a big fucking problem. And I don't care whether it's AOC, any of the people that we've elected to be the narcissist of the week and to tell us all how we live, how to live. All of these people are after, for the most part, their own power, and they're not really looking out for you. They believe things in the abstract that could help you. But when Bernie Sanders, who I like and respect, treats Joe Biden like a statesman in that debate instead of turning around and going, you are the fucking problem. How did Trump get elected? By going to Jeb Bush and destroying his own party. Trump destroyed the Republicans. He destroyed the Bush dynasty. They limped. Jeb limped out of those debates. That young Bush still can't get elected in Texas. The little kid tried in a congressional race. The damage done to that name might be irreparable. And they were one of the biggest political dynasties in our country. And Trump got rid of them. And he did that by being rude. I mean, he did that by saying things that made you go, whoa. But you have Bernie Sanders kind of treating Joe Biden like a statesman because they're friends or whatever. Trump was friends with Hillary. He didn't care. They were friends. He played golf with Bill. He went to a wedding. He went to their they came to his wedding. He was friends with them. It didn't matter. Didn't matter to him. And yeah, maybe Sanders has more integrity. Great. That doesn't win. It's very hard to root for the left because they're so allergic to winning. They are born losers. They are incapable of fucking winning. I mean, Trump may still win the next election. How hilarious is that? We have a worldwide preventable pandemic in this country, a stock market crash the likes which we haven't seen in a generation, and we're going into a global depression. And Trump may still win. He might pull it out. The record he has to run on is the worst record of any maybe president ever. I mean, has anyone, the wholesale destruction of the American economy and our complete way of life. We can't leave our houses. The whole country got suspended. And he still could pull it out. Does that give you an idea of how pathetic the other side is? How their quibbling and their infighting is so repulsive. They're so annoying to most people. Even me, who realizes and has realized that Trump, again, is a huckster. He's peddling his wares to people that, see him as some type of avatar, but essentially he's a huckster. If you don't see that, even if you think he's funny, even if you hate the other side, you see Trump as a huckster. I think the difference is that a lot of people out there go, yeah, but he's our huckster. He's he's ripping off everybody on behalf of us. If that were only the case, I could be like, great. But you can't leave your house because we didn't order the tests and the masks because he didn't care. Because he didn't want to spook the stock market by even talking about a pandemic. because it didn't matter, because everything was good. The gravy train was rolling along, and so again, it's a mistake. If you're unwilling to admit that, you've left the realm of logic. And fine, if you want to dwell in your own world that you create, and I think that is where we are seeing these states like Philadelphia. Cities like Philadelphia saying we're not going to prosecute, we're not going to arrest and jail people for crimes, petty crimes. And petty to them, when you read the list, includes burglary, auto theft, vandalism, property crime. So, what's going to start to happen in Philadelphia and cities across the country that are unable to deal with the increased spike in crime that is almost certain to happen with it kind of goes along with the destruction of the American economy, a rise in crime, 20% unemployment, they're talking. What you're going to see in cities like that is they're going to throw their hands up and they're going to wait for the federal government to roll the tanks in. They're going to say, listen, we don't have the resources to handle this. Bring in the tanks. And that's why you're hearing the term martial law. The states are not going to be able to handle this, especially in high crime areas where the crime is going to explode. The country, folks, does not look the same after this. Not trying to be alarmist here, but it doesn't look the same. It does not emerge in the same way. You're going to see the rich, and they've already done it. They're fleeing to the Hamptons, to Martha's Vineyard. They're going behind gates. They know. They knew before this happened, probably. They had a inkling that something was coming. I know there's a very wealthy guy in New York who's close to a billionaire, and I know somebody very close to him. And this guy was told in February that he would maybe not have to pay rent on some of his properties, his commercial establishments, and he should get out of the market or reduce his positions in the market. This was, several senators are claiming, of course, that they did not, sell these stocks or change their positions because of inside information. That's a complete lie. They should be hung. It's as close to treason as I can think about somebody profiting off the deaths of their fellow countrymen and not informing anybody that this was going to happen, and certainly not doing anything from their position of power in the government to reduce the likelihood it would happen. Just going in there and profiting from it. It's disgusting. Now all the Republicans, in the beginning it was like one guy should resign, but then you found out that all the senators did it and four of them are Republicans, and everybody's like, well, maybe this one guy should resign because they don't want to lose control of the Senate. But this is, pretty disgusting. If you fall on a partisan, if you're still thinking in terms of left or right, Republican or Democrat in this period of time, you're wrong. You're wrong, and I feel bad for you because you're going to step on your throat. It has nothing to do with the blue or red or Republican or Democrat, left or right. That is a show. This is a show. Okay? The people that have money and power right now are going to get richer, they're going to get more powerful, and they're going to leave you and your family to starve. This is absolutely the case. It's happening already. And if you're still thinking that half of them give a fuck about you, God, what would do it, folks? Do they have to FaceTime you and tell you how much they don't give a fuck? Do they have to FaceTime you and go, hi, Mr. and Mrs., who is this? Is this the Fantozis? Is this the Millers? Is this the Dominics? Is this the Parkers? Hey, we just want to call you up and let you know you're on your own here. Did you not get that? Did you not see that with all the, with us selling our stock? Did you not? Can we stop doing the fucking press conferences too? Who are they? Who is feeling better after that? That little doctor, Fauci, who's probably a good dude, but he's a tiny little man there is no time for short people right now. Sorry. Nobody is being made to feel better by a tiny little doctor. Give me somebody 6'2" who looks like they can take this thing on. Little Fauci looks like coronavirus. He's a tiny little man. Nobody feels good about that at this moment. Short people are great in good times. But when times are tough, you want to look at somebody tall to lead you through, who sees above the crowd. Who is this woman who comes out in a nightdress who looks like she's on Percocet? It's just like, my daughters who are I have two beautiful millennial daughters. They're the most important generation millennials. I have two daughters. It's like, who the fuck is this bitch? Who is this? And then you have Trump, and then Pence, stone face in the back. And then, of course, they bring out, Pompeo, who just wants to be, the Secretary of State, who used to run the CIA, and he just wants to be just sitting, eating a French dip sandwich. That poor guy's like, what the fuck is this? I thought we were just blackmailing people, taking photos of them fucking underage people. What? Pandemic? They're wholly unprepared. And the country is unprepared for what's about to happen. There's no way to be prepared for what's about to happen. What's about to happen is going to be truly astounding for a lot of people. Cities are going to turn pretty quickly into Mad Max situations. There's going to be shortages. There's going to be an increase in crime. They're probably going to declare martial law, some version of that. I don't see, in certain areas of the country, I don't see how that doesn't happen. It seems inevitable that if things continue the way they are continuing, all the big finance people, the Goldman Sachs guys, are all being told it's an 18-month pandemic with waves of sick people. Waves of where we can all go back to work. I'm sure that looks great, by the way. I'm sure everybody's really excited. Waves where we have to shut down again. It's just going to be cyclical. And when we all go back to work, I don't think it's going to be boom times. I got to be honest with you. I don't think it's going to quite feel the same. I think people are still going to be like, what are we doing? They're going to think long and hard about where they go, how they spend their money, what risk they're willing to take, what level of risk they're willing to take. Concert, comedy show, restaurant, beach. These are all different things. We're all going to know people who pass away tragically from this disease. It's going to be emotionally scarring. It's going to damage the psyche of people, not only individually, but the country's psyche. And I think, unfortunately, the reality of how bad things are is going to push people further into their own world. It's going to push them further into conspiracy, further into, cults, religion, things that give people some level of hope, or at least a way to organize the world. And it's going to get bad. And I think that when people are confronted with chaos, they need something. And I think for the good of the country, it has to be this show. It has to be the Patreon, the Tim Dillon Show. It has to be the merch. I don't think it can be anything else. I worry about you being taken in by charlatans out there online. There's a lot of problems. There's a lot of bad actors in the digital space just waiting for you. Come here. Come here. We're giving you the information. We're giving you the perspective. I don't want to be hopeless. There are good things coming. Celebrities and politicians will die. That's nice. That will be fun to see and watch if we are still alive to watch that happen. That will be amusing. Good things are going to come of this. I'm telling you, real housewives are going to die. That will be fun for all of us. From what I see, the disease clearly does not discriminate. So there's going to be some annoying people that are going to get it. And they're going to go, bye-bye. And that might keep us sane for a little while because good people are going to go. People you love are going to go. People you respect are going to go. But then other people are going to go too. It's the little things. It's the small victories that you can't lose sight of in these times. You should put pictures on your wall of people you hope get it. And when one of them does, put a check, have a drink, eat a good meal. I'm, of course, joking about celebrating the deaths of others, but am I? And how bad will it get where we need some form of entertainment, as cryptic as that sounds, as depressing as that may be, as inhumane as you might find that to be? We're going to need light at the end of the tunnel. And it is not going to come from the powers that be. They are not going to help you. Your community might help you. Your friends and your family might help you. Your local government could help you. The powers that be are going to make a mad dash for the hills. They're going to grab their money and their families, and they're going to head out to the lifeboats. It's going to happen. This isn't a debate. This isn't left or right. Don't look for these people to show you a way out of this fucking mess. It's not gonna happen. Comedians, get off Instagram Live, for the love of God. Especially unsuccessful ones. Especially ones that failed at the real thing. Ones that couldn't do it when you had a stage and an audience. Get the fuck off Instagram Live. Nobody wants your thoughts now. Enough. Comedy couldn't be less essential. Funny, yes. Funny, we all need funny. Comedy, no. The entertainment business is about to get gutted. If you are in the business and you've done well enough, you'll probably make it through if you survive, but your relationships are going to change. Your business relationships are going to change. How you do business is going to change. How you attract a following is going to change. How you make money at this business is going to change. It's absolutely going to change. If you're independent, the only way out of this is being self-sufficient. You cannot rely on anybody anymore for anything. And this is particularly aimed at people in creative fields. You're not the sitcom bullshit, the pilot you thought you were going to get, the tour you were going on. I mean, everything, unfortunately, is sand through the hourglass. It's all you can do right now is have something valuable for other people and find a way to deliver it to them. And that is not going on Instagram Live with your act, with your stand-up act. For the love of Christ, Jesus Christ. Does anyone right now want to see a half-decent comedian perform to an empty room? What psychopath wants that. Who are you all performing for? It's over. It's over. What the fuck do you think happens next? You get noticed on Instagram Live, and then what? What happens then? They lead you with a mask through the gates of Paramount Studios? It's curtains. Collect your belongings and go. Checkout is at 11 a.m. There is no late checkout today. The rooms are booked. Get the fuck out. The vacation has ended. Your meaningless life is no longer public consumption. Go back, put your privacy settings, go reestablish some relationship that matters before it all goes black. Some of the things I've seen have been good, but the majority of them have not. And I feel for people. Oh, it's not so easy to do what Logan Paul does, is it? You all thought you were slick and you shitted on YouTubers. And now you're all trying to be YouTubers. As the gypsy in Thinner, the Stephen King movie said, die clean. Die clean. Die clean, white boy. That's what he said. Some of you have no clue what's coming because you trust the government and the media because you're children or you're insane. They know things we don't know. They're trying to avoid widespread panic. They're trying to avoid chaos. They know this is a lot worse than they're even letting on. They know maybe this thing's mutated. Who knows? It's taking out people left and right, and it doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason why. Maybe it's just that it's a novel virus. We don't have immunity. People's systems, some can handle it, some can't. But how terrifying is that? That is why they're like, well, it's mainly elderly people. You know, Mike Pence said the other day, he goes, the majority of Americans don't need to worry about getting this. There's no statistics to back that up. There's none. What, the ones out of China? Italy, there's 1,000 people a day are dying. That's Spanish flu. China, we don't know what the fuck's going on. You can't trust the media. So we have the vice president going, yeah, most people don't have anything to worry about when contracting this disease. There are no numbers to support that. We don't know that that's the case. We don't know. What's the death toll in Italy right now?
4,825.
Yeah. It's a lot of dead people.
Yesterday there was 793.
And it's not over. I know, if we were closing the book on, people go, 4,000? So what? I don't know anybody with coronavirus. Do you know how many people die of gunshot wounds? You know how many people die of other things, like the flu? This isn't over. We're just beginning. The movie has just started. We're barely through the previews. You don't know what's coming. We don't need a lot of people to die to unleash martial law and to doom the economy. You don't need a lot of people to die to collapse the healthcare system. You don't. But I do think you're going to see, sadly, a lot more people die. I mean, what are the totals right now? We usually do the totals in the beginning, but let's do them now.
301, 627,000. So we just passed the 300,000 mark, and then the deaths.
300,000 worldwide.
Yeah. The deaths are about to hit 13,000. We're at 12,955.
America. What are the totals in America?
In the USA, we have...
Wouldn't it be funny if like you had an old-time rock DJ? Like there was this guy, Cousin Brucey, who at 101.1 when I was growing up was like, Sherry! Like that type of old school. And he'd be like, hey, it's Cousin Brucey. And it would just be funny if, like, in the dystopian nightmare that we live in, he's like, hey, baby, it's Cousin Brucey giving you the totals. Giving you the totals. We got about 23,000 deaths right now. Now, how about rocking out to the Four Seasons? Where are we in America?
We have 22,813 cases and 288 deaths.
I can't wait for Coronavirus the Musical. Coronavirus the Musical. Can you see it? Broadway stage opens 2023. People are standing there. It's kind of like Rent. If you remember Rent, the stage is, there's no real set. There's just some garbage cans and some stuff, and, there's a catwalk, and it's kind of plain, and there's just, like, people standing on the stage, and, 2023 Coronavirus the Musical, the first number, everybody's standing there just like, they're doing it on the beat. They go, doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo. What was that? What was that? I heard about a pandemic happening. What was that? Wuhan, China. What was that? Pandemic, bat flu, plague and a bat flu. And then, it's coming. It's coming. Where are the tests? We thought we had the tests. Just doctors and nurses singing. By the way, isn't the worst thing about this that we have to treat doctors and nurses with reverence and respect? Is there anybody more annoying than doctors and nurses? Let's be honest. I mean, I know that now they're essential, but I wish they weren't. I wish we were relying on, like, blackjack dealers or people that I like. Doctors and nurses, they're almost as bad as teachers. Imagine if we all had to glorify teachers during this. Oh my God. I would just go, kill me now. I do like, it's just doctors are, they're pompous. Doctors are pompous. And nurses as well think they're doctors. It's not all of them, but it's a fair amount of them. And many people in the medical field agree with me. I'm just saying I wish we were relying on another group that we had to exalt, I don't know who. People that work at clam bars, like fat women who ladle clam chowder into a cup. I wish they were the front lines and we could be like, yeah, I support Donna. I mean, folks, you have to remember when all this is happening that you're living through a historic time. I love that. Isn't it? People tell you that like it's a good thing. You're living through a historic time. This is historic. This is a historic time. It is a historic time, So was the Holocaust. It was historic. You think they walked around Auschwitz and go, what we have to remember? We're living in a historic time. We really are. We just get to see it all up close. You think they talked about that? Probably not. But what do I know? I'm itching to get out there and do live stand-up comedy again, but it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen for a while. And even when it does happen, who the fuck knows what it's going to look like? What's Billie Eilish up to? She was on tour too. Google hit news on Billie Eilish. What's she doing? She always wore that mask anyway. She was prepared. Remember, she always had that Bane mask on her face? Mm-hmm. What's she up to?
I mean, it looks like she's just on The Voice right now. The Voice battle rounds. Billie Eilish, Whitney Houston, more songs and pairings.
I mean, to put Billie Eilish and Whitney Houston in the same sentence, I mean, imagine what a decaying society we are. How deserving are we of a plague? To put those two. Whitney Houston, one of the greatest voices ever, who did exactly what a musician should do, entertain the fuck out of us, and then died in the tub. Didn't stick around for too long.
Well, isn't The Voice people covering stuff?
Who knows? But that's probably not that recent. They shut down.
It says 1 day ago.
Really?
Yeah.
But didn't they shut down the production of all of these shows?
I guess they shot him so long ago.
Yeah. That's the other thing now. Jimmy Fallon's doing the Tonight Show from his house. The View, Whoopi Goldberg's like Skyping into The View. Enough. I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to be the bringer of bad news, but just shut it down. I mean, are we going to be living under martial law and still watching Jimmy Fallon? Is that what's going to happen here? Are we going to be living under martial law and still watching carpool karaoke? Shut it down. Have the decency to treat us like real dictators and just have state TV, which is what that is, by the way. Fallon and Corden, that is state TV. I mean, am I going to look out my window, see a tank rolling down the street, and then turn on my TV and see Ellen dancing from her living room? At what point do these people just go the fuck home and stay there? Turn off the webcam and let us all be. Let us be, please. Give us a few months without you. I mean, can you imagine it? Jimmy Fallon going outside, Ellen dancing with the military, Jimmy Fallon taking pictures with the tank that's parked at the end of his block. I mean, at what point can we request that they shut the entertainment industry off? Shut it off. There should be martial law on Instagram. You should have to get approval for the military to post. That's what should happen. That fucked me up. They wouldn't give me any fucking... We'd have to go onto the dark web. We'd have to live stream on the dark web. Does anyone ever do that? No.
I mean, that's what a red room is supposed to be.
Yeah, but it's not real. It's not real. That's what America's about to become, by the way. A red room supposedly where you torture and kill people, and the people in the comments are like, kill him, get his leg. Where it's like there's a torture chamber, and you get to say what you want done to the person if you donate money, like a super chat on YouTube. Get his leg. Pin his leg back. It's like not real. But who knows? Who knows what entertainment will be considered after this? Every company in this country right now should be making ventilators. Everybody. And some of them are, to their credit. Every fucking company should be, Haagen-Dazs, whoever, make fucking ventilators. You're going to need a lot of ventilators. You're going to need masks. Make fucking masks. You know? This should have been happening months ago. You know? What good is it to call yourself the greatest country in the world and then get beaten by Taiwan at survival? You know? How does that happen? How does it happen that all you do is you pat yourself on the back for being the greatest country in the world? Taiwan figures out a way to do it and you can't. Taiwan. I mean, that's amazing to me. It's amazing to me how strong and virulent like nationalism is. That there are still people walking around being like, I love this country. Relatives are dead in the street. I love this country. I love that I can't get tested for this thing I may or may not have. It's a death wish. Large segment of the population in this country wants to die. They want to die. They were brought up thinking that the glory would come after they died, that this life was a mere rehearsal for the next one. This is what religion pounds into the heads of people while they're still kids. And that's why many of those people grow up and they keep that belief and they treat their bodies and everything else like shit, and they don't care because as soon as they have the glorious aneurysm or heart attack, and they fall on the floor of Denny's, that's when things get good. That's when things get good. That's when it gets fun. Our friend is calling.
Who is it?
Alex. We'll call him later. I will say this. I really, truly, every day get up and go, should I get the fuck out of Los Angeles? Should I get the fuck out of Terminator? Should I get the hell out of here? And I don't know. I believe that I don't think anywhere is going to be safe. Truly. If it goes as bad as it could and will go, potentially. What'll save us is some antivirals. Chloroquine, little remdesivir. What'll save us is some antivirals. Perhaps. That becomes essential. The erythromycin and the chloroquine, I hope it works. But I mean, and then we have where's Joe Biden, by the way? Where is Joe Biden? How's Joe Biden? He's running for the presidency. He's running for the highest office in the land. He's disappeared. His handlers are keeping him out of the spotlight because they know Hill will make a mess of this. I mean, I had a joke in my act where I said the Trump-Biden debate is a debate where we don't need a country anymore. We call China like a kid at a sleepover that's not working out and calls his parents and goes, hey, come now. Just come now. Leave now. I'm ready now. We're ready now. There are people saying they're getting out of the Chinese quarantine and Americans living in China expats, and who knows if they're writing these, updates with a gun to their head. They go, things are better. The bright future's ahead, They just got a guy with a gun in your head. You're sitting in a room staring at Chairman Mao's photo on the wall. You're just typing. They just come in with a laptop, MacBook, sit it down and go, tell everybody how good it is. Tell everyone outside how much fun we're all having. This has been fun. He says that they take your temperature everywhere now. That might be the future. Infrared technology. In order to get into an event, you might not be able to get into an event with a fever anymore. It's interesting. If you have a fever, if you're feverish, if you're over 100, they might just say you're not getting into this concert. You're not coming in. It's interesting. That might be the future. The future, I mean, Whitney Cummings was telling me she was going back from New York to LA, and the flight, she said, was full. No one spoke to each other. Everybody was wiping down the plane. There was no service. The flight attendants did not speak to them, and the pilot did not make any announcements. It was like a crazy flight. It was amazing. When I heard that, I was like, what a fucking amazing thing to go through, to witness, because I've flown so many times, and that has never been the case. I imagine even after 9/11, they made comments and they talk to you, but right now the level of fear is so high that nobody, there was no communication between the flight attendants, the pilot, and the passengers on the plane. Everybody was just sitting there, wheels up, 6.5 hour flight, wheels down, and then get off the plane and run. The future doesn't look like the past did. Especially in the way, I'm watching these shows on Netflix. There's this good show called Restaurants on the Edge, and where they just go to restaurants that are in beautiful locations, but are failing because the food sucks. They're poorly designed. And what happens is Netflix goes, 3 people go, they have a designer, a restaurateur, and a chef. They help redesign the menu. They help redesign the restaurant, and obviously all these restaurants probably still fail because the idiots, as soon as the Netflix team leaves, they go back to doing it their way. No, this actually, and then it's whatever. But I'm watching these chefs walk through these open air markets to buy produce and there's fish and fowl, birds, and there's all kinds of things, and you're saying to yourself, obviously that is the reality for most of the world is these, wet markets, these markets where live animals are sold. And then people walk through them and they take photos. Does that continue? Are you going to go walk through those markets anymore? Are you going to try something in one of those markets? Somebody hands you a piece of fruit. Not that it's any better here. I'm not an idiot. I know that things sitting in a supermarket are as likely to make you sick as anything. But just the idea of walking through a market, you see live animals, you see things like, are you going to do that? Are you going to hop on, are you going to go on a cruise? Are you going to go on a cruise right now? Are you going to eat at buffets? Are you going to do all of that stuff? Does that survive? Do those things survive a pandemic? Probably. People got to go somewhere to be disgusting animals. But I mean, travel. Does travel take a hit? Do people go, I'm good. I'm good. Or do people just say, fuck it, I'm going to go. I'm going to go anyway. I don't care. That becomes the real question, is what does a world look like? And I'm talking best case, because worst case, forget it. I mean, we've already went through that. We're talking martial law. We're talking crime. We're talking the cities are abandoned. We're talking the rich flee to their bunkers. And that all looks to be the case. But let's imagine we get on the other side of that, or the effects of that somehow miraculously don't materialize fully. On the other side of that, are you allowed into an arena with a fever going forward? If it is an 18-month pandemic that's cyclical, where there's waves of sick people, are you allowed into a restaurant with a fever? Are you allowed into a movie theater with a fever? It's fascinating shit to think about. How does life change? And then we get into the scary stuff, and you know what that is: the chips, the bio security stuff. Do they put a chip in you so they know how sick you are? And if they don't like your behavior, do they just deactivate the chip? They just deactivate you. I mean, that's been those nanochips. The idea of putting that under your skin was so that they had all your health information. So that now in a world where anyone trusted the government, it's really not a bad idea on its face. Like if you collapse in a Walmart and they come up to you and there's a chip that says, this guy's diabetic, he's this, he's that, he's got this, he's got that. And they don't have to wait to find all that information out till you either regain consciousness or they can get your relatives on the phone. The idea that that's all in a there's a convenience there, but then but Jesus Christ, how much are you giving up for that? How much are you giving up for that? Giving all of your medical information to a government and letting them install a chip in you, and then trusting that they can't do horrible things to you because they have access to that chip. Again, on its face, it's a great idea. It's an idea that's like, but that's what comes down the pike. What biotech firms right now are developing different types of, diagnostic tools for concert venues, arenas, sporting events? What restaurants, public places, resorts, amusement parks? What biotech firms are going to go out there and start thinking about how to, and maybe it's short term, maybe it's long term, maybe it's forever. But if it is an 18-month pandemic with waves of things, and you're a property that's insured, and your insurance company is my company, and go, you need to figure out a way to prevent sick people from coming in here. We got to insulate ourselves against the liability. It's fascinating. It's very interesting to think about, But another thing to think about is when you are in quarantine, is your penis hard? If your penis is not hard, you cannot have sex. Many of us are not having sex. If you're not in a relationship, it's hard right now to get somebody over. There are people that'll come over and fuck you. But, I mean, again, you take their temperature first, It's a chewable, and it's got all the good ingredients in there that keep the dick nice and hard. Okay? You get it online. It's easy. It's discreet. It's shipped in discreet packaging. They're shipping right now, even during the pandemic. They know that you have needs. Your partner has needs. And they're going to give you Blue Chew. It is a great, fast-acting supplement that allows you to perform in the bedroom. This may be your last fuck. Make it good. Make it good. Who wants a soft dick in the end times? Nobody. You need to be out there slinging hard dick during the apocalypse. I got that apocalypse cock, ladies. I'm slinging hard dick during the apocalypse. I mean, why not? BlueChew.com/Tim.
Promo code Tim.
Promo code Tim. TIM. What are they doing for us? 5% off?
No, you just pay $5 shipping and you get your first shipment free.
$5 shipping. The first shipment is free. You don't have to pay anything. $5 shipping. They're so convinced that this product is going to change your life that they're giving it to you free because they know you're going to re-up. You're going to re-up because it works. It does work. It's safe. It's tested. I don't know who tested it, but someone.
The FDA.
The FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. I'm telling you right now, this is the good stuff. Blue Chew. Great way to support the show. If you like the content and the entertainment that we provide and you need a hard dick, this is a great way to do it. By using the promo code TIM, you get a free shipment and you only pay $5 shipping. I mean, who loses there? Nobody. Literally nobody. We're going through some changes here in the studio. We're going to modernize the studio. Broadcasting is the future right here. This is the reality. We talked about this the other night. Since live stand-up has been put on hold indefinitely, we are going to modernize the studio. We're going to get a nice big television in here. We're going to be able to pull up media in live time, in real time, whatever. We're going to be able to bring you a better show, especially now it's super important that we are able to, not only have some fun, but get out, information or we all need to stay on top of what the fuck's going on, So we're going to be able to, interview people on Skype, and we're going to be able to pull up articles and pull up videos and things like that. And that's coming down the pike, and we appreciate that. We also appreciate, this one too, huh?
Oh, we'll do that at the very end.
Okay.
That one's audio only. YouTube will get mad if we do that.
So the studio is going to, we appreciate everybody that's contributing on Patreon. We know that everybody is in a bad spot right now. Most people are in a bad spot. We know that you don't have a lot of fucking money. And that's why we're trying to put out as much free content as possible. A lot of these free podcasts on our YouTube, channel. We also put out videos and everything on Instagram and Twitter. Tim J. Dillon, Dillon on Instagram and Twitter. And all the content in this podcast will always be free. You'll always get one podcast a week free. You'll always get a YouTube, one or two YouTubes, either an extra episode and then also a live stream that we do where you can ask questions. All of those things are always going to be free. The only thing you'll ever have to pay for is if you want the Patreon episodes. And there's a lot of archives there. There's 170 archived episodes, 170 hours of content you can sift through, and a lot of interesting interviews with a lot of people. And it's for $5 a month. It's a pretty good deal, but I totally get it if you don't have it. And if you don't have it, we're still pumping out a lot of free stuff. Don't worry about it. We want you to get yourself right. Most important thing is for you to be financially okay during this thing. We're going to try to figure out the best way to start donating some money to people or organizations. I spoke to Andrew Schultz about it. Right now, a lot of us are focusing on people that have been directly affected that in our industry. So waiters and waitresses at comedy clubs are fucked right now. And those are the people that allowed us to earn a living being comedians. They were the support staff. They brought you drinks. They brought you food. And they helped those operations run. They made those operations run. So we're helping those people now. But, of course, the scope of that, is going to get bigger. We're going to look for other ways to, contribute money to people in real time that need it, whether it's food banks or stuff like that, because things are going to get ugly and they are going to get bad. And if you do have money and you do have the wherewithal to kind of give people, you can't volunteer right now. Nobody wants you to leave your fucking house. So the reality is if you do have the money helps. That's kind of going to be, but I am also very careful about where you give money because there's a lot of institutions out there that misuse funds and misuse money. So we're all going to have to figure out together how exactly we go forward with that. And I'm speaking to some other comedians, Rogan, a bunch of people that are, that help a lot of different people, but we're all trying to figure out what's the best way forward. The next 2 to 3 weeks are going to tell us a lot. They're going to tell us if the healthcare system completely collapses. They're going to tell us probably if we're heading into more of a severe lockdown, something that looks, or not that looks, that is a martial law. These things are all on the table. I don't know that we have to freak out about them because you don't really have control over them. But the idea of, the election getting pushed back or being canceled, the idea that, come November, people are not going to be able or feel comfortable voting, getting together, all of these things are going to change our lives for a foreseeable period. It's not conspiracy mongering to say that we are, the survival of the country right now is not guaranteed. And I don't say that, to joke around, and I don't say that to be dramatic or to be an alarmist. The survival of the country that we are living in right now, and by the way, the country in the sense that it looks or feels like anything you remember is not guaranteed. It's not. It's truly not, and the people at the top know that. We're at the precipice of something very, very challenging. And if you see huge spikes in crime, if you see a global depression, if you see a loss of faith in the government, which I don't know how you don't see more of. I think it's because people are afraid right now. So they're kind of ignoring certain things, the insider trading and stuff like that. I think people are, burying their heads in the sand. But if you see those things happen, I mean, these are the ingredients that, bring about a fall. And we see that. And I'm hoping that doesn't happen, and I'm hoping that we're able to weather it. But it is not at all irresponsible to float those possibilities because they are real possibilities. There's a real possibility that your city and local governments collapse because of this, and that the federal government then rolls in the tanks, and you don't have any more rights, and it's not the America that you remembered, and the rich go to planned communities where they have rights and you don't, and they have the technology and they are able to weather the storm for however long it is, and you sitting there in a Perkins, or a Denny's or Pizza Hut are not going to weather the storm because you are going to be left to, unfortunately, perish by the people that you put so much faith in. And what will prevent that? Bonds with your family, with your friends, when the time comes, not right now, but when the time comes, probably there will be, there will be some type of, I can't believe I'm even saying this, but it's like, there might be some type of organized resistance to what happens. I don't know. I'm saying, but it's funny because it's not, we have to laugh at these things. I mean, we are laughing at them, but if rich and powerful people leave us all to die, you might have to go and visit them. I don't know. I'm just saying, I am not trying to sound the alarm here other than to say, if you aren't going over these possibilities in your head, what is happening in your head? What is happening in your head? I'd love to know. I mean, if you're not going over the real possibility that these people are gonna pull the ladder up, I don't know what. Is it the ladder up? Is that the expression?
Yeah.
I don't know what you think is happening. I don't know what you imagine is going to happen. You better hope chloroquine works. You better hope remdesivir works. And this might be, as Rogan said the other day, it might be a dress rehearsal. Because the next pandemic, But maybe we'll be prepared. Probably not. I'm going to be at the Hollywood Improv this weekend, headlining. Fuck them. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. 2 cough minimum. Ha ha. But those are the hack jokes that are going on Instagram right now where people should be taken out and shot. So I mean, be careful the content you put out. Be careful the content you consume. You know? I wonder how it's all going to play out. It's very interesting. The one thing that'll save us, this is literally what I believe. This is truly what I believe. I think the one thing that saves us is that the robots are not good enough yet. If the robots could do all the things these people wanted, oh, goodbye. I mean, truly, if AI and automation, like if AI was at the point where the AI could do most of what the wealthy needed done, I would be like in total panic mode. I think that we're still some years from that happening. That might be the only thing that saves us. It's not about Democrat or Republican. It's not about any of that. It's about, this is just a strong survive in a sense. This is Darwinian. And that's what you're seeing right now is you're seeing nature. As Chris Hedges said the other day, we're in the middle of the sixth extinction or whatever. This was a year before this even happened. So, I mean, don't be too anxious. Don't be too depressed. Don't use too many mind-altering substances. Stay sober. Keep your mind sharp. You're going to need it. I'm hoping the worst doesn't happen. I'm cautiously optimistic only because robots cannot do all of the jobs yet. I don't think it's, it's like, I'm not trading on empathy here. I'm like, thank God we're a little behind. But, keep your wits about you out there. It's not going to be pretty. And we appreciate you listening. Reality really caught up with this show. Really did. And one of the reasons that the show's always kind of been darker is not because I'm some prophet or I don't live in that headspace all the time. I'm funny but when you look around society, I always saw it as somewhat fragile. And I think other people didn't. I think that's what it comes down to. I always looked at the institutions of society, how corrupt they were, the fools that were running the show. And I always said to myself, these are fragile institutions. It really wouldn't take much. And now you're kind of seeing that this is how that manifests. When you're led by sociopaths and clowns and goons and people that just really want money and power and they just enrich themselves and there's no checks on them and there's no democratic process that fucking means anything. And everything is, being sold to the highest bidder and everything's about the consolidation of power and it's a partnership of the public and the private sector. It's the, corporate state, as Hedges and other people have said. When it gets so all powerful, I mean, you look at it and you go, yeah, this is something that's just so corrupt, so incompetent, and yet also very ruthless, and it lacks any empathy. You look at a society that's like that and you go, yeah, there's the potential here for some real problems. And we have children licking toilet seats on planes. I mean, this is where we're at. It's not I'm not making that up. There are people licking the toilet seats on planes because they're treating this as a joke. It's a profoundly disturbed society. I read today there's kids coughing on fruit as a joke in the store. It's a profoundly sick and disturbed society. And if you don't believe that, please point me to the evidence. Please show me the evidence because I got a lot. I got exhibit A, B, C, D, E, the whole alphabet. So show me your evidence when we have kids licking the toilet seats on planes. Tell me, by the way, fuck the pandemic. Fuck that they're going to get a pandemic or that they're making that they're putting old people at risk or that they're selfish. Forget all about that. What if they were just licking the toilet seats on planes? How about that? Let's ignore the social context. What if kids, young people, young adults were licking the toilet seats on an airliner? and putting it on social media. And you're telling me we are not a profoundly, these are the people, it was pointed out by Whitney Cummings the other day on her podcast, that last year were eating Tide Pods. They were eating soap because they liked the colors and how it felt in their mouth. And you're telling me we are not a profoundly sick and disturbed society. They're eating soap, and now they're licking the turlet. And this is the future. Okay? I feel bad for coronavirus. That it has to infest us. Hopefully we fucking get ahead and beat this thing. I really, really, really want life to go back to the way it was. But this unmasks the whole thing if you're fucking thinking. If you're looking around at how people are responding to this, how fragile it all is, this unmasks the whole thing. If you're fucking awake, you see how unsustainable our lives are. Not only the systems which we've created, but how unsustainable our beliefs are. The idea that we're safe and that people that know more than us are figuring things out on our behalf is not the case. It's not the case. Now, coronavirus tried to buy an ad on this show, and I declined. You know, I was contacted by somebody who said Corona wants to advertise on the show. COVID-19 wants to advertise because they think they're getting a bad rap in the media. And he goes, if anyone would understand population control, it's your listeners. So COVID wants to come up and kind of just talk for a little bit. And they're like, you want to interview COVID? I'm like, not really. Not really. But good luck out there, folks. It's going to be a fun couple of months. We're putting out as much free content as we can. Hope you and your family are safe. Really try to get out there and, but take some time to read some books. Read some books. How do we get here? Read The Devil's Chessboard, David Talbot. Read Family of Secrets, Russ Baker. Read other things. Read Tragedy and Hope, Carol Quigley. History of, the world in our time. Read Harlot's Ghost by Norman Mailer. Any of these things. Read books like Sapiens. Read other things. Read books that I don't even know. Read books that about biology and epidemiology. I don't know. But, figure out how we got here. Figure out how most of our social media feeds are clogged up between a game show host, Mr. Trump, and a bartender, Mr. Cortez. And how those two people, we've decided that they are going to be our avatars. They are going to be the people that speak on our behalf. How did we get here? How did that happen? How did it happen? It's not an accident. Didn't happen by accident. It's a long process of kind of giving up. Little by little, taking the hand off the wheel and just cruising and coasting. And this is where it leads you. This is where it leads you when you just take your foot off the gas and you just let it go. This is where you end up. So when you have the time, go and do a little reading and figure out exactly how, and then read about other empires and how they fell. And you start to go, oh, wow, this sounds familiar. Everybody's obsessed with sex and food. They make celebrities out of chefs. I mean, read about the fall of Rome. It's fucking wild, So, again, hopefully we make it over this hurdle. Hopefully. I'm somewhat in the middle. I don't know. Could be good. Could be, Lord of the Flies. We don't know. But if we do, we could look forward to Coronavirus the Musical. We could look forward to so many shitty movies. We could look forward to a banging Netflix doc. Kids in 10 years will be smoking weed in their dorms, watching a banging documentary about COVID-19. You know, if there are dorms and if there are kids. Good luck.